Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Shanika Grimshaw. We continue to follow breaking news. 3 people have been shot in Northeast D.C. at the Benning Road Metro Station. It happened right here just before 9 a.m. Take a look at this map. Metro Transit Police say it started after a physical altercation, and now they're on the search for a suspect. DC News Now's Randy Bass is at the scene following the latest developments. Randy?
Yeah, Shanika, 4 people have been shot at metro stations across the district in just the last 24 hours. The latest victim, a 15-year-old boy who's in the hospital right now with life-threatening injuries. The scene's still very active over the last few hours. Since police got here right around 9 a.m., officers tell us it all started with a fight among teenagers on the platform. DC Police 6th District Commander Darnell Robinson explains what happened when one of them pulled out a gun.
Out of the 3 suspects, one or unknown at this time, produced a weapon and started firing multiple times. The 15-year-old that they were engaged in a fight suffered from a gunshot wound to the thigh. The other 2, the adult and the juvenile, were sitting on the bench and a stray bullet struck their lower extremities.
We talked to neighbors here along Benning Road who take Metro every day. They say Metro is their only option to get around, but they fear for their safety taking transit here in the district. One neighbor is demanding answers this afternoon. All right, we hope to hear from that neighbor here in a few minutes. Here's what we know right now. 3 people shot here, but right now 3 young suspects are on the run. Officers say those suspects took off after the shooting. Local schools here also on alert to be on the lookout for those suspects, as it's understood by police that they could potentially be students in the area. Anyone with information is asked to give police a call right away. Reporting in Northeast, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
All right. Thank you, Randy. We are also following breaking news out of Prince George's County, Maryland. Police tell us that a shooting occurred outside of Loudoun High School. The school remains on lockdown. DC News Now's Leonard N. Fleming joins us now live with more. Hi, Leonard. What are we learning?
There has been yet another shooting in Prince George's County, this time at a high school. Prince George's County police say 1 student has been shot with non-life-threatening injuries around 10 a.m. this morning in the back of Loudoun High School. As you can see, this school has been on lockdown since the shooting happened, which was a result of an altercation in the back near the annex building and bleachers. Concerned parents are lined up outside in front of the school, communicating with police and their children inside. Parents are very, very concerned about this community, and they're very concerned about the violence that has been plaguing it. I have one parent here I'd like to bring on camera. Sir, you have a child inside this school.
I do.
Can you talk a little bit about just what your child has talked about so far?
Well, here's what I'll tell you. It's been a very tough school year ever since we've been here at Loudoun. Unfortunately, this is not anything new. So we heard about 10 this morning that there was a shooting that happened. Parents didn't hear anything from the school or PGCPS until an hour after the fact. We've called repeatedly, no one picks up the line. We even called PG County Police, no one had any information. So that's why there's tons of parents here, because we're pretty much fed up. The system is broken, something has to happen. And the only reason I'm talking, I don't ever speak to the media, but someone has to say something. We pay taxes, our kids matter. However, if this is supposed to be the wealthiest black county, and I'm saying it, how are we treating our most precious resources this way? You know, so I'm just encouraging everybody, anyone that lives in PG County, act with your votes. The people that are in position right now that aren't doing their jobs, that aren't being accountable, let's get them out. They're not doing anything. Our kids don't deserve it.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you for talking to us, sir. I appreciate it. We'll check in with you a little later. So as you heard, parents are concerned about their children's safety here, and they've been communicating with their kids. Meanwhile, we have a media briefing that will happen around 1 o'clock that police brass will tell us what is going on inside the school, but they are currently on lockdown and they haven't yet let the parents know when these students will be out. Live here in Prince George's County, Leonard N. Fleming, DC News Now.
All right, thank you, Leonard. We will continue to follow both of these stories on air and online at dcnewsnow.com. And developing now, Russia freed WNBA star Brittany Griner in a high-level prison exchange. The U.S. released Russian arms dealer Viktor Bout, also known as the Merchant of Death. Griner has been in Russia since February. She was arrested at an airport in Moscow after they found cannabis vaporizer cartridges in her baggage. She pled guilty in a Russian court to drug smuggling charges back in July. She was then sentenced to 9 years. President Biden, along with her wife, Charnel, spoke about Brittany. Take a listen.
This is a day we've worked toward for a long time. We never stopped pushing for her release. It took painstaking and intense negotiations, and I want to thank all the hard-working public servants across my administration who worked tirelessly to secure her release.
The wife of Brittany Griner also had remarks. Here's what she had to say.
As you all are aware, there's so many other families who are not whole, and so BG's not here to say this, but I will gladly speak on her behalf and say that BG and I will remain committed to the work of getting every American home, including Paul, whose family is in our hearts today. As we celebrate BG being home, we do understand that there are still people out here who are enduring what I endured the last 9 months of missing tremendously their loved ones.
Now, the swap did not include Paul Whelan, a Michigan corporate security executive that has been jailed in Russia since December 2018 on espionage charges. Biden says he continues to work to free him. New details this afternoon as the House of Representatives just gave final approval to protections over same-sex marriage and interracial marriages. The bill would require all states to recognize legal marriages regardless of, quote, sex, race, ethnicity, or national origin. The motion now heads to the president's desk for the final step before it becomes law. Biden has previously said he would proudly sign the bipartisan bill. The Supreme Court heard arguments in a case that could give state legislators power over running elections with little to no oversight from state courts. Republicans from North Carolina argue that the Constitution election clause should give state legislators total control over the state and federal elections are run. Now, they say that includes redistricting, and courts should have no oversight of a process also known as gerrymandering. Now, a lawyer representing the Biden administration in the case says this could cause problems with election administration all across the country.
So at the end of the day, it shouldn't be up to judges or bureaucrats. It should be up to the people through their elected representatives in the legislature.
What it would do is allow state legislators to change the outcome of elections. It would make them kind of the supreme power.
This case could have huge impact on how elections are administered, depending how the court rules. A decision could be set for next spring. And switching gears now to Loudoun County, where the school board will hold an emergency meeting tonight to name Dr. Daniel Smith the next acting superintendent after the previous one was fired. DC News Now's Marielle Carbone has a story out of Northern Virginia.
I was really shocked. I don't think anyone expects that things like this are happening inside of a school.
But they did happen. 2 separate sexual assaults at 2 different Loudoun County high schools by 1 student.
It was all very disturbing.
Meredith Ray is a parent of 2 LCPS students. She says a grand jury report released Monday, which investigates how the district, school board, and sheriff's office handled the assaults, shows a clear failure.
There was a failure on a lot of different people who were supposed to be in charge of making sure that things like this don't happen.
The report found LCPS administrators were looking out for their own interest. It all led to this moment Tuesday night.
That the school board vote to terminate the employment of Dr. Ziegler.
The firing of Superintendent Dr. Scott Ziegler.
And I'm glad that they handled it quickly and swiftly.
Do you support that?
I do, absolutely.
Amanda Bean is a mother of 3 current LCPS students and 1 former student. She's also a board member of the PAC, Loudoun for All.
But there were 2 girls who were really hurt that really needed the adults in the community to focus on them and support them.
She believes there was a lack of clear policy and training on how to handle the situation. As far as Ziegler goes,
he actively seemed to mislead parents, and obviously that is not okay.
But she says this is just a first step in moving forward. Loudoun for All is also calling for Sheriff Michael Chapman to resign after the report claims his agency only pressed charges on the suspect after public outrage, not after the initial assault.
To know that our sheriff's office will only pursue a brutal attack if there's enough public attention is really, really worrisome.
West Virginia school districts continue to be on alert after 4 schools received false reports of an active shooter yesterday. The West Virginia Department of Homeland Security says false threats were made in 12 different counties. Authorities say it's part of a growing trend known as swatting. According to the director of school resource officers, the goal is to tie up police, waste community resources, and cause trauma.
It draws resources from other parts of the community as well as other communities, because historically when you have an active assailant call that goes out, it's not just the local law enforcement responding, it's other agencies, other jurisdictions responding. So we're losing a lot of resources.
Now, so far, no word on any arrests made after those false calls. Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff hosted a White House roundtable discussion on anti-Semitism with Jewish leaders yesterday. Emhoff said that he is in pain right now over rising anti-Semitism in the U.S., but he will keep speaking out against bigotry. The husband of Vice President Kamala Harris compared the spreading of anti-Semitism in the U.S. to an epidemic. Anti-Jewish ideas have come to the forefront of American society after former President Donald Trump hosted Nick Fuentes and the rapper formerly known as Kanye West, who has recently expressed love for Hitler in an interview.
Words matter. People are no longer saying the quiet parts out loud. They are literally screaming them. Thank you for coming.
Emhoff noted that Biden has already secured funding from Congress to tighten security at Jewish temples, appoint leaders to focus on hate crime, and hosted a summit against hate-fueled violence. And a firefighter from Frederick County, Maryland, died battling a fire in Pennsylvania. The Career Firefighters Association of Frederick County confirmed Zachary Paris died in a Facebook post last night. He responded to a house fire with the new Tripoli Volunteer Fire Company yesterday and died while battling the blaze. He started working with the Green Valley Fire Station in Monrovia, Maryland earlier this year. He leaves behind a wife and 2 children.